Hello, this is Jessica from But First We Craft, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a top hat. So I've made this one out of foam board, Bristol board, with some quilt batting fabric stuffing glued onto the inside to make it fit better. And then beyond that, my supplies were glue gun, scissors, a sharp knife, I used non-serrated, and a pencil, and a tape measure, and some resolve, because it can be a bit frustrating when you get to the measuring part. So for mine, I made this one for my son, which turned out to be too small, so now it's for my nephew. And then I tried again and made this one for my son, which turned out too big, so it's for my other nephew. So now I'm trying to make one in between the two. So basically what I've ended up doing is measuring my son's head, which was 21 centimeters, and then adding a little bit to it, and then also, instead of making a perfect circle, give it a little bit of an oval shape, because that's basically why it doesn't fit. All the gaps are at the edges, so it's not quite long enough. So start off by making a circle and then carve it in a little bit, making sure that the extremities are still whatever your child's head are, or your head if you're doing it. So you can see here I've already drawn my lines. Can you see that? So I'm going to cut them out. This is going to end up being the brim of the top hat, and then this is the very top. And then we connect the two with Bristol board. Okay, I'm just going to double check my measurements. 21 centimeters, so that should be fine. And 19 centimeters, but 21 was too big, so we're going to go with that and hope it works. So I've just got my normal kitchen knife that I'm using to cut it out. You could use an X-Acto knife. So I'm making these for like a British tea party, vintage tea kind of thing. So the girls were making fascinators, and the boys are going to decorate these top hats. All right. There, cut out. So that's my circle. I might clean up some of the edges that don't look circular. For instance, this one. You can also do that part with scissors. Okay. I'm going to wait until the end and then clean it up some more if I need to. So now I'm going to do the inside. When you're doing the inside, when you're measuring the inside, you want to make sure that your circle is in the middle. So originally I used a plate and I measured in the edges. Is this the right same amount of centimeters from the plate as this side? And then you cut that out the same way you did the other one. Okay, so you can see that mine's a little bit oval. So when I'm putting them together, I'm going to want to make sure that those oval sides are the same way. So one hint is that both of them currently have pencil on the tops. So I'll probably flip them over so the pencil's on the bottom of both of them, and then I'll be able to see where it goes. Okay, so the next step is taking your Bristol board, and my Bristol board of my top hat is, really it's from the bottom. Come along now. $17". So you want to make it bigger than that because you can see on the inside, you attach it here, and then can you see inside there? So you're going to do all of those little cuts in order to make it wrap around the bottom and the top. I'll show you. Okay, so I'm going to measure my 17 inches. I've already measured this around, so I know that's right. $17". I'm going to leave, it's centimeters, my goodness. 17 centimeters, I'm going to leave 2 centimeters for the one brim. So I should do this actually, 2 centimeters, 19 centimeters, 21 centimeters. Okay. So now I'm going to measure that all the way along. If you haven't gathered this from my blog posts or videos already, I am terrible at math. Absolutely atrocious. So all of these measuring things are a little bit scary. See, for example, I should have marked the 21 and 19 and 2 right from the start, because now I have to go back and measure them all again. Because I'm a genius. 2, 19. Okay. Now I'm using the edge of my board to mark it off, or to, as a ruler basically. Okay, so we're just going to cut this one off entirely and then we're done with that. Okay, I love this part. So these you're going to cut little triangles all the way along. And if you're smart, you'll let them all fall in a nice little pile. so you don't have to cut them up later. I mean, not cut them up. Do a lot of tidy up later. So the bigger you make these, the harder it's going to be to make them circular. So while it may take a lot longer to do it like this, you'll be grateful. It'll give you a nicer curve and a nicer edge if your tabs are narrower. So deep V's are good. Same thing with the other side. Oh, shot me. Okay, now all of these, one row you're going to fold up, the other row you're going to fold down. So here we go. They should, if you've cut them so the points are all on your pencil line, they should fold up very nicely. Which some of mine are not. That was really bad, actually. The other ones didn't have anything like that. Maybe I'm nervous showing you. Okay, so those are gonna go around the top of the top hat. So that'll attach to this. And now I should plug in my glue gun at this point. This is my first time using it. I got it for Christmas. So this is its maiden voyage. Okay, so since these are up, we're gonna flip this. And we're gonna flip these up, which will result in them being down in the long run. Tea break. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is put on the top. Let's get rid of all these little bits. It's hard to see them with the marble tabletop. Okay, I'm gonna start at the front of the hat. Remember, we made it an oval, and I'm gonna put the pencil at the bottom so you can't see it. And I'm gonna glue all of these so they're right against the edge. when I get to the end, I'm going to go back to the middle here, go around, and overlap the ends. If it's a ton of overlap, I'm just going to cut off part of it. Okay, are you ready? Come on. Come on. Okay, sorry, we're gonna have to wait. So how are you? Good. I'm sorry, I wish I knew how to like pause it and then keep going. Maybe I could. Ready? Bye. Hello again. Thank you. So I've put on the first one. I'm gonna turn it over. So I'm gonna glue a couple of the edges. Can you see this? Where can you see this? And then I'm gonna put my fingers here to make sure I'm at the edge. And then see how it's nice and like teethy, so I can pull it back again and go. You don't want to go too far or the glue will dry before you get there. When I made the other two hats, I burnt myself frequently just because of the feeling at the back at the same time. So brace yourself. See that? So there we go, the glue. Push it over like that. Same thing with the last one. Good. See how that goes? Then you just hammer off the other side. See, there's glue stuck to my finger already. Ooh, what an exciting glue gun. So far, so good. So your extra end you want to tuck inside because the outside one's already glued. Wow. Okay, see? Lots of burny bits. Okay, now. Yes! Oops. Yes. It's exactly what you want, unless your sun is really low. Okay, so I'm gonna match it up. I can see the dip here. And I'm gonna put the pencil at the bottom again. Okay, let's see. How did you come out? Okay, this one got moved when I stuck it on, probably because the glue wasn't quite hot. I'm just gonna fix that. Okay, so now you can kind of crumple up your overlap, not crumple, your hat here like this to fit it through the hole. There. Is this my first time making a video? Third, okay? So bear with me. So I can see the front is here. Oh, it's gonna be big again. So two things we can do for that. One is put the foam in. For this one I put tons of foam in. but I think this one might still be too big, so my genius husband said that I should get a strip of Bristol board and curve it like this so it'll sit on their heads, and then glue it inside so their head, like a hard hat, so their head can't go past that line. So I'm gonna bring that with me when we have this party, and we'll attach it at that point to measure the boys' heads. Okay, so now you have this lined up. Perfect. Perfect, okay. And now you just glue these on. These are much easier to glue on than the bottom, which is the top, usually. Jessica, you're so funny. Look at this. Ooh, technologically advanced. Oh my glue gun doesn't reach that far. Okay, so just like the other side, I'm gonna start over here now. Because I got to the middle there. I don't know if you noticed that. Definitely lift the brim up at the same time so you know you're getting right to the base. All right. Here we go. Ooh. I thought that was cool, but it's not. Last two. What the heck? Not the last two. See how that wouldn't bend down because it was too much of a curve? If that happens, just cut them in half. And you're good to go. Okay, so some of them are being stubborn. See how that one's sticking up too? Just leave them. If they're not gonna stick, then you'll know soon enough. Okay. So, don't test it too soon or you'll burn your head. Now I'm gonna glue this line here. Remember that we didn't finish gluing those top pieces up here? So if it's like, oh shoot, it's sticking way out, you can still pop it back. And then there's gonna be tons of glue strings, so you can pull those off. Let it dry before gluing your hat to your head. So now we get our foam. All you do is you cut strips. Which is kind of tricky to do with this, but then you glue the inside brim and stick it on. High enough that you can't see it, but low enough that it's actually going to touch the head. And I really find that it doesn't actually take much glue to hold this on. Ooh, that's smarted. Ooh, shoot. Use caution. And you know, common sense. Glue guns are hot. And foam is thin. All right, so now I'm just gonna give it a second to dry because I really don't want to glue my head. And that's it. That's your top hat. So we're going to, at the party, I bought feathers, like brown, like bird feathers, not like the boa feathers. I got green ribbon. You could use buttons. Oh yeah. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. Well, thank you for joining me, Jessica, at But First We Craft, for our tutorial. Have a good day.